to the weekend show. Frequencies wild on the wave. Weekend warriors you crave. Static crackle stories fly. Heroes born and never die. Ham radios, they never sleep. Tune in now, secrets keep. Weekend warriors on the line. Echoes of a battle sign. From the front lines to your ear, here's your show now, loud and clear. Airwaves buzzing, tales unfold. Voices young and voices old. Army, Navy, air and sea. Tune in now, you're riding free. Mic on loud, our crowds roar. Every tale you can't ignore. Through the static, truth will shine. Tune your dial, it's time to ride. Weekend warriors on the line. Echoes of a battle sign. From the front lines to your ear, here's your show now, loud and clear. Mic on loud, our crowds roar. Every tale you can't ignore. Through the static, truth will shine. Tune your dial, it's time to ride. Weekend warriors on the line. Echoes of a battle sign. From the front lines to your ear, here's your show now, loud and clear. Weekend warriors on the line.
Listen up, maggots. This is the Grouch coming at you loud and clear with another edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This is the place for real, no bullshit talk on the harsh realities and irreverent humor around military life. So sit the fuck down, strap in, and get ready for a raw, no-holds-barred discussion. This is the Weekend Warriors. All right, welcome to the second Weekend Warriors episode of 2026. Tonight, I want to talk about something that sounds harmless, even a bit responsible, but quietly keeps us all stuck: being busy. We wear busyness like armor, full calendars, endless tasks, always something to do. As long as we're moving, we tell ourselves that we're fine. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Being busy is not the same as making progress. Motion and direction are not the same thing, and if nothing is actually getting finished, then nothing's ever really changing. Veterans are especially good at staying busy. The military trained us for it. There was always a schedule, always a task, always a reason to be on the move. You didn't have to decide what mattered. The mission told you. Then the uniform comes off, the structure disappears, and suddenly there's a massive gap. There's no clear priorities, no defined end state. So we fill the space the only way we know how, with activity. And here's where I want to be clear right up front. This conversation is not going to be about discipline, character, or willpower, because for a lot of veterans, staying busy isn't avoidance by choice. It's a coping strategy. Many veterans live with ADHD, whether diagnosed or not. Many live with traumatic brain injuries, especially mild TBI from blast exposures. This affects focus, memory, planning, and follow through. These injuries didn't just show up on scans, but they obviously show up in daily life. ADHD and TBI both impact executive function, the brain's ability to prioritize, sequence tasks, regulate attention, and complete things. So when someone is saying, I stay busy, but I can't seem to finish anything, it's not laziness, it's neurology. For a lot of us, staying busy is how we stay regulated. Movement keeps the noise down. Stimulation keeps the brain from stalling out. Familiar tasks feel safer than planning, choosing, or committing to something with a real outcome. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, and that kind of sounds like me, I want you to hear me clearly. This is not a moral failing. This is about understanding how your brain actually works now, not how it used to and not how someone else's does. And this part matters. Just because staying busy makes sense doesn't mean it's actually helping, because there's a trap there. Busyness can quietly become avoidance. Not avoidance that looks like doing nothing, but avoidance that looks like doing everything except that one thing that really matters. Answering emails instead of making a hard phone call, starting new projects instead of finishing one, rearranging the toolbox instead of using the tools. Our brains love this because it gets the feeling of effort without the risk of failure. And society reinforces this. We treat busyness like a badge of honor. If you're exhausted, you must be doing something right. But also, exhaustion isn't progress. And effort without outcome just keeps you tired and frustrated. So this episode isn't about telling you to slow down or to do more. It's about asking better questions. I want you to ask questions like, what am I staying busy with? What am I avoiding by staying busy? What could I actually change in my life if I finished just one thing? Because progress doesn't come from doing more, it comes from completing what matters. And for us, and those that have ADHD and brain injuries, that means that we don't need more motivation. We need better structure, smaller targets, and permission to work within our limitations instead of pretending they don't exist. So tonight isn't about fixing your whole life. This is a culmination of therapy on the interwebs. We're here to talk about some awareness, noticing when movement isn't helping and when it's just noise. Because staying busy can keep you comfortable, but finishing something, even something really small, is actually what moves you forward. So with that being said, let's welcome tonight's guests. And now we got everybody. All right. We got Dave.
Good evening.
We got Trevor. And the kimchi himself, Cody.
Should say.
You're either your internet's really lagging out or it's mine, but
No, I believe
good to
it's
have you
his.
here, Cody.
It's probably his.
All right. Well, in true Weekend Warriors fashion, let's do like we always do, because we're gonna give Cody's internet a minute to buffer. We'll start with you, Dave. How you been these last couple weeks, or how you been this last month, actually?
Yeah, it's
'Cause,
probably been about a month. Yeah, since I've been on. Well, I told you earlier that my old Chevy just was getting on the last legs, so I made the very stressful choice to get rid of it before sinking more money into it, and now I've got a 2014 Dodge Ram. So we're we're making everything work now.
It's just too bad it's a Dodge.
Yeah, unfortunately. I wanted to stay in a Chevy, but the Chevys that were within price range I couldn't stay in because it's not just me, it's me and my dog at least. And single cabs just don't work.
Yeah, I mean, it can certainly be difficult. Yeah,
Yeah,
when the dog's going back and forth from the driver's window to the passenger's window.
yeah, it just makes it difficult. So he gets the whole back seat when there's nobody back there. But hey, at least I stayed in a pickup truck. I gotta say that, because I said no, no cars. Injuries just prevent that. Hockey weekend, I'm not moving very well. I go out inside and shovel. I'm not moving for 2 days. I'm not getting in and out of a car. So in SUVs, they can be hit or miss, man. Some can be just right. Some can be too low.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad that your computer's fixed and
Oh yeah, that
now
too.
you're mobile again.
Yeah,
Appreciate you being here,
you bet.
Trevor. What about you? It's good to
Uh,
see you. You didn't get scared off from being on the other episode.
yeah. Oh, you're used to it. You got to get used to it by when you're in for X amount of years. So, but yeah, it's been going pretty good. The weather has been as indecisive as ever. We
It's New York.
we froze, snowed, rained, froze over the rain, and then we got a few more inches of snow. So it's been busy trying to keep everything clear and not a death hazard.
Very true.
I certainly don't envy you guys being up north. I will say, listen, as nice as it is not having to deal with snow down here, Central Florida last night was 30 degrees. When I got up this morning, the grass was all covered in ice.
Wow.
Just
That means
saying, I don't know
snow is
what's
life.
going on. Mother Nature's drunk or something.
You got iguanas falling out of the trees down there
I was
yet?
just thinking of that one.
Iguana watch?
Yeah, I think New Year's that was the big thing because it got down to like 34 on New Year's, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see iguanas falling out of trees. So, Cody, good to have you with us, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I finally got my ass out of bed and showed up here at an appropriate time. But yeah, dude, I'm doing good. Just trying to transition and get my jet lag going away, and uh, I don't know, get my ass busy in this new unit. Make this year go by pretty quick, hopefully. But a few days up, and I don't know. Went to the dentist, and oh boy, was I don't know. He must have been a rookie dentist because he's like, "Hey, I need you to go see an ENT because I don't trust what I'm seeing on an X-ray." I'm like, "Dude, it's my tooth, man. Like, it's not figure it the fuck out, you know." But it was kind of fun, the old Army medical system, getting the run around a little bit. But uh, I don't know, ibuprofen, a little bit of water, and a mouthwash, man. We're just waiting for it all to go down. So I'm just glad I can finally eat again. So pack on a few more pounds this week and see where we go.
Well, yeah, it's definitely no fun having any type of tooth pain. I think that's probably one of the worst kind of pain that you can have because there's just no getting rid of it. Yeah. All right. Is the
Sorry, man.
time difference giving us a delay here?
No, I don't think it's that, man. It's I don't. I'm running the internet off of my phone here, so it's actually this place has really good internet. But I mean, my phone from 15 years ago is actually running the damn thing. So we'll
All
work it
right.
out.
Well, I'll try not to put you on the spot too much then. But glad to have you with us. And it's interesting. We used to reschedule these for later to accommodate the Pacific Coast time. and now I guess we could do it much earlier because you're the opposite direction.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. It's I used to be getting drunk on these, man. I used to have been having fun, but now I got to wake up Saturday morning and be ready for it. But hey, we'll make it happen, man.
All right. Well, let's give a shout out to the people in the chat here. We got Bricker, Chris, Radio and Life, Julie Faust, Levi, Dave the Hillbilly Ham, Vaughn from Pota Power, and Rabbit. Good to have you guys in there. Thanks for all the channel members in green. And don't forget, you get your membership milestones that you can use. And I want to also thank the Patreon members. It's always good to. I appreciate the support. I feel bad. I don't push a lot to Patreon because Patreon mobile app is really difficult, so it kind of has to be done from a computer. But I appreciate the support, anyways. Just want to throw that out there. We did have a bunch of comments that I saw roll through earlier. Bricker wanted to know if it was cold enough in Florida for a whoopee. You see me wearing it. Yes, the heat is on. And it is currently 40 degrees outside and the temperature is dropping. So,
Well, you're welcome to our 12 degrees up here.
yeah, no, I'll pass. The thing is I came down here to be in the warmth. Like, it's not supposed to be this cold.
You know, my brother moved to Texas 5 years ago, and the first little bit he was down there, guess what happened? It snowed. So he left the
That,
north to
that,
get
that
out
was
of
the
the
year that
snow, and it
Texas got
followed him.
all that
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah. Well, 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago now. But he's back in the north.
Bricker says E4 Mafia trained him to have a wrench in his hand or a clipboard and always look busy. Yeah, that's
yeah.
that was specifically why I mentioned it in the opening monologue. There is, we were literally trained to keep busy. Like, even
Yeah.
when we were standing by to stand by, like, you weren't standing by with your hands in your pockets. You were standing by, police calling freaking cigarette butts or doing something so that somebody wasn't going to look at you and go, "Oh, you're not doing anything, so now you're going to go do this."
Yep, exactly.
You guys are killing me, man. I was that guy, always like, oh shit, avoiding work by looking busy. And now I'm the guy that is like, hey fucker, you look not so busy. Damn it, man.
Giving
Stay
away all
around
the
long
secrets
enough to
now.
become the enemy.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Now, what it is, right, is it's almost like, privates are like the kids of the military because they're literally kids. And then the longer you stay in, the older you get. So then you start being like, you know what, you dumb fucking shits. Like, you're not going to be just idling about. You're going to be busy. Go do this.
Every time.
All right. So one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting, right, is busy is an activity, but productive is based on outcome. And so, like, how often are we busy just to be busy, where we're not really accomplishing anything. We're not actually getting something worthwhile done, right? We're not being productive. We're just keeping ourselves busy.
I think I've definitely been guilty of it
Chris,
in the past.
Chris was quick on that every day.
Chris just stays busy every day. That's a tough question, Paul. I think it's a little bit loaded because I mean, staying busy or just doing busy work, I get that, but accomplishment, right? Doing stuff to get stuff done. I I, I think it's perspective on what the accomplishment is, or what the task that to be finished. Because you could do little stuff that doesn't really produce anything, and then you don't feel accomplished. But then you do more important things, or what you believe or perceive as important, that builds the accomplishment. Because I mean, I get a bunch of stuff done all the time, but at the end of the day, if I don't kind of feel fulfilled, I, then it's just busy work.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I catch myself a lot of times where, I'll have big tasks that I know I need to get it done. I just need to sit down and I need to get it done. And rather than doing that big task, I'll get trapped into email, and then I'll go from email to, oh, I was coding, so let me try and fix this code, and then the next thing I know, it's like, well, now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't eaten anything, so I should stop and I should eat something, right? And so like that's kind of how my day will go. And then the end of the day comes around, and yeah, I might have gotten a couple things done, but that big daunting task gets kicked down the road to the next day. And like, I mean, I did that all week this week. So I wanted to do one video this week, just get one video edited and done. I didn't get it done. I kept kicking it down each day. Nope, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Bricker's got a good couple of comments in there. You ain't getting shit done without making some lists.
Yeah, which I mean that goes back to what we were talking about, pre-Christmas or around Christmas. Yeah, making your goals, making them manageable, and writing them down, holding yourself accountable without punishing yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, despite not getting the one big thing done this week that I wanted to get done, I did have a bunch of little wins, so I was able to put a couple of feathers in my cap this week at least. But more often than not, like, it's too easy to kind of go down that rabbit hole of, emails, and then you end up on Facebook looking at something, and next thing you know, you've been scrolling for a half an hour.
Yep.
Can't even remember why you went on Facebook to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
It just means they're doing a good job keeping you invested.
Yeah.
Little subconscious dopamine hit. That's why you got on there every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean our phones are designed as a busy device. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but you're really not getting anything accomplished. Let me ask you guys this, right? How many projects do you have currently that are unfinished?
Oh.
We'd be here all day.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Yeah,
it's something I can control, or it's something I'm like, I could just do this later.
Yeah, I was supposed to replace an outlet, and here it is. Year and a half, two later, still ain't done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got a 3D printer, and it hasn't been set up yet. It's been here about 6 months. I've got a bunch of radio projects that I want to do with Arduino or Raspberry Pi, and guess where they're still sitting? In their boxes.
But you're
So
busy.
yeah, I'm busy doing
Mm.
other things. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still do active in radio. I still do my sled hockey. So yeah, it's still busy somewhere, some way. But those things that I want to get done, just they're over here. And obviously, one's been here for like 2 years. And every month or so, every couple of months, it still pops up and says, "Hey, you need to get that finished. You need that tent. You need that outlet."
You know what, Dave? I have more than a few of those examples of that thing in the corner, the peripheral fucking project, the procrastination thing on the side,
Which
and
one? There's a couple of them here.
yeah. But I think that sometimes those little ankle biter things, it's kind of like a humbling or like a coping mechanism to like
Yeah.
procrastination. To like
Yep.
you can kind of have this little thing that's kind of weighing you down, like to
Yep.
give that little level of comfortable anxiety to you, so
Oh
that you
yeah.
can go off and do other stuff. So I
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite a bad thing, but it's always there, lurking in the background.
Yeah.
Fucking gotta
Absolutely.
fix that fucking outlet, man.
Well, it's like the old saying there, right? The wife doesn't need to tell me every 6 months. Like I know that I need to do it.
Yep. I know it needs to be done. It's still there. It may be written down, but it's also still here. It may slip from time to time, but it comes back. Yeah, somebody's walking over Cody's head.
Yeah, big ass feet on the third floor, man.
So, all right, I got a sidebar and just ask you, like, what's your living situation like over there, man?
Um, it's not bad, right? It's I'm living in the senior leaders quarters, which is just a really fucking fancy barracks room. All right, it's still all the regular barracks furniture, but you give me like full kitchen. I got a living room, TV room thing there, washer dryer, like all. I don't know, man. It's not bad, but it's empty right now. I don't have any of my stuff, so I just fucking lay in bed and stare at this big empty room with white walls. So it's kind of empty castle syndrome, but it's not bad. And then the post I'm on is so fucking small, man. You throw a rock to the other side of it. I I'm serious. It's tiny. I'm pretty sure the motor pool is bigger than this fucking where everybody lives and works. But
You got to do 5 laps around the post for PT.
yeah, yeah, exactly that. Well, I'm spot on. 5 laps is exactly the amount to like run the whole thing, and then but yeah, it's fucking tiny, and it's definitely not like Camp Humphreys, which is I mean nowadays Camp Humphreys, if anybody been there, stationed there a long time ago, that place was kind of small. But Camp Humphreys nowadays is like Little America. I mean it's bigger than Fort Irwin. It's like at least twice the size of Fort Irwin. It's like you know cantonment living area and stuff. Uh, I don't know. They stuck me down the little. They put baby in a corner, and now I'm down here in Camp Carroll, and just trying to figure out what exactly I'm supposed to do. My unit's kind of weird too. It's super super small. We do ammunition for the peninsula, and there's there's really no need for like tactical radio communications, right? None of really my expertise is really needed here. So I don't know. I'm gonna try my best to at least introduce some of these ammo dudes to some radio shit, and try my best to get on HF and just enjoy ham radio while I'm here, which is another one of my projects that I'm kicking down the road. Getting the Korean ham ticket.
Well, you can do that before you get the radio, right?
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely can. We have some weird special exceptions here. If we're transmitting from on post, right, and we have our I think it's a Hotel Lima 9 call sign, Hotel Lima 9 prefix. Uh, we've special exceptions with the Korean government and the Korean Amateur Radio League. They I think they allow us about 3 months to operate that way, and then if you want to get your full fledged Korean ham license, of course you still have to take a test. I think they do have reciprocity on extras for us, but we we're still tipping our toes in the water on that one.
All right. Well, I think it sounds like maybe you need to put on your list for like Monday morning, file for your Korea license.
Oh, it's on there. Trust me. Uh, First thing's getting my driver license back on the so I can get around.
You need a special driver's license to drive around?
Yeah, they have like a USFK uh, uh, driver's license for us. So I mean, we get to use it's piggybacking off your stateside license, but it's just an acknowledgement by the Korean government that you know the rules of the road and what signs mean and shit like that. So it's a little test. It's not too hard, uh, and it's just another little identification card. Of course, my last one expired like 3 months before I got here, so had to go do the whole process again. But oh well. But living's not bad, man. We'll see how it pans out here in the near future when I get some of my stuff here and uh, put some wire in the air and get on the air.
Berger's got a question for you. He wants to know if there's any ham radio stores or gear in Korea.
Ooh, um, I looked into it a little bit. It's not like any place like an HRO or something like that floating around here. Um, at least there is one that I know of, one like kind of ham radio esque type store, and it's in Seoul. But the rest of it, it's kind of like maybe a little electronic shop somewhere might have a small like ham section that you might stumble upon, but definitely not the big commercialized versions of what we're kind of used to.
Well, I guess maybe you should take some video of what they have for ham gear for sale, so that you can clue us dumb Americans in on that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I will. The unfortunate part about like me ordering anything online, right? Like say if I, some of those project radios that come from Japan or China or anything like that. The sucky part is like just like you guys, you have to wait till fucking Timu finally sends the shit to the States, which takes forever, right? In my case, with an army post office, they have to wait for them to ship it all the way to fucking Chicago, and then Chicago to send it all the fucking way back here. I can't just do just direct. But oh well. Yeah,
Some things are
I'll
never
explore.
easy.
I'll explore a little bit, and we'll see what the ham radio uh, purchasing scene looks like in South Korea.
All right. Jason, good to see you.
How you all doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
You get the snow cleared at the bottom of your ramp so that your house catches on fire and you're not going to die inside.
Yeah. I can go up the street right now. There's no snow out there. It all melted
All
a couple
right.
days ago. So
No, he didn't get any, but all of us up here in the north got it.
yeah, so they got hammered. We got there a week ago for the game, and
Yeah, I saw that.
about a couple days there where they had the warnings out, and about a 15-mile stretch of 81, it was like 5 miles an hour.
No, I think we lost him.
I
Or
still hear it.
somebody's.
I heard 5 miles an hour and then he was gone.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah, I'm
everybody
sure
just
that's
glitched
the
out
case, so.
everywhere.
I was listening to him glitch out, and then y'all
I
two
watched
dropped
everyone's camera go off.
your stuff.
My
to go,
connection's
"What's
good.
going on?"
Technical difficulties. It's China. All right. No, I can't hear you, Cody.
Oh shit! There you go. Sorry. Hey, did something like the Verizon went out again? Oh yeah, somebody's put it in there. Rabbit put it in there. The
Yeah.
cell phones went down or some shit. I have no idea.
Everybody's internet just crashed out. I got Starlink. Apparently, Starlink is working okay. So
Yeah, I just
uh,
I just watched an interview about the about Iran and Starlink and Elon and everyone's speculation on it. And people are like, Elon's not doing anything in the Middle East, and I'm like over here like I'm pretty sure the Middle East is jamming Starlink.
it's very possible they're jamming it. Hey, look at that. Now everybody's trickling back in.
Not sure what happened, but apparently my internet did end up crashing, which is weird. Or at least
Quite a
the
few of
stream
us. I
did.
mean, I dropped as well.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. Maybe
I
it was
had to
the
log out and
website.
log back in, so we all
Maybe
died.
it was the server.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder if it was more of the stream side than it was the us side, because I didn't. Discord was fine. So
Yeah, everything else was fine. I was still chatting through YouTube, so
Oh, the Grouch and I have
Oh.
been here the whole time.
okay,
that's
Yeah.
weird.
whatever.
I mean, Cody's on his phone and I'm on Starlink. We're still here.
Interesting.
Time Warner Cable.
Prep Hemp says the only reason Iranians have internet is because of Elon and Starlink. There's a whole lot of chaos going on over there.
Oh yeah.
Although there's a whole lot of chaos going on in freaking Minnesota too. So.
Oh, Rabbit, you can drop me the affected map. Can you put it in the Discord? Rabbit, are you in there? Hopefully, yeah, man. Maybe the Discord.
I think yeah, Rabbit recently joined the Flag and Torch Discord.
Yeah. I don't know. I worry about jamming Starlink in the near future. I really do.
I heard that
and
Elon rolled out some rolling connection software. make it harder to jam because it keeps rolling frequencies.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to try and get around it, but if a state entity wants to really get stuff done, it's not too hard.
Yeah.
Not too hard to do. But jamming. We're being jammed every time, dude. I go to Spaceballs every time.
Being jammed.
I don't know. Well, because sometimes it's hard to explain to to your bosses, or like, hey, the reason why this isn't working is because like you could effectively being jammed. And they're like, what do you mean by jamming? I'm like, well, have you seen Spaceballs? Give
Hey, whatever gets it
bring
to relate to.
some levity to the conversation, man. But
Well,
I think
the whole point of tonight's conversation was to kind of build from the last few episodes. So like we talked about goal setting and making your lists of priorities and those things and holding yourself accountable. Um, and then I started kind of trying to analyze how my week was going and how I was doing mentally, physically, and every other way. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm keeping myself busy, and being busy is good, but what am I really getting done? And so I was like, I think this is just it's another way to build on what we've already been talking about, and how to better recognize that we're using busy as a coping, and instead of actually doing what we don't want to do. I certainly did some hard things today that I didn't want to do, but they needed to get done. So
Yeah, I ended up getting some things done that I definitely didn't feel like having to do, but such is life. One of the belts blew on my tractor again, and I kind of need that for the snow. So didn't want to do it, but kind of had to.
yeah, that's one of those that you can't really delay on that,
Yeah.
because if you don't clean the snow right away, it's 10 times harder to clean it freaking the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, those are kind of the like the quick manual labor, like get some tangible thing that you can get done with your hands real quick. Those tasks are kind of, even though they're sometimes they're big, daunting, and important, but you can see an end goal. You can see the effect of it, tangibly in your hands. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the difficult tasks are the ones that like take more mental acuity. So it's the like, say, studying for your extra or something, or like working on a degree, or that type of stuff, that is, you won't see any sort of real tangible progress until the very end.
Yeah, there's no immediate
Those are the tough ones, I
gratification.
think. Yeah, those are the tough ones for me to like keep a focused thought on.
I think that's kind of we sort of brought it up on the New Year's stream as well, of even if it's a long term project, setting your own smaller sections, not only to keep yourself true to that, but also it gives you that bit of gratification that you normally wouldn't get till weeks, months, or however long it may be.
Excuse me. Hey, excuse.
Do you think that's a skill that should be taught in school, or maybe a skill that we lack as like parents in teaching? Because I don't think that's anything that you really had to develop. At least my perspective. You didn't develop until much later.
It was definitely something that was taught to me, but
Maybe
it
I'm
wasn't
off on.
taught to me till later on in life. So
Yeah, I mean, I think had somebody, I don't know, maybe like junior high or freshman year of high school, been like, you know what? All right, look, you are going to need to learn how to organize and manage your life. And so, like, if you've got this big task, right? Like, say, all right, we use the weight loss one as an example, just because it's easy. Um, I want to lose 50 pounds this year. But you break that down into small bites, right? And I think, I don't know, maybe if somebody had taught me that earlier, then it wouldn't be a constant battle of fighting bad programming, I guess, right?
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
better
yeah,
foundation,
maybe,
right?
maybe the skills should probably. I don't know. I'm not Doctor Spock, but I think maybe this skill should probably be taught. Maybe like a preteen type of milestone. I think that's probably where a better understanding of the grown up mind and maturity kind of really sparks right there. So maybe that might be the future investment in teaching right around that age. I mean, the losing the weight example that makes perfect sense, right? I think that maybe the kids that got to build a project car probably starting there, right? That was probably one of the a significant thing that shows some longevity to something.
mm,
But yeah, maybe we should probably invest in this particular thing in in younger folks.
yeah,
I don't know.
more
We're all
I
life
screwed,
think,
but
skills.
what was that, Trevor?
I was saying just more general life skills. I feel is something I it lacked on when I was going through high school and well, mainly high school. Um, I got a little bit of that, like you were talking, like with the cars. I mean, I did shop class and stuff like that, so those projects were long term project or longer term projects and stuff like that. So I got a little bit of experience with that, but it's not something like they taught intentionally.
Yeah, and so I was thinking along those exact same lines that kind of that same time frame of a young formidable life, right? Is to teach like just basic money management.
Hmm.
Like really, really basic. Do I need this? Do I want this? Right? And assessing, is it a need or is it a want? And then can I afford it? Because like dude, living life on credit is not a positive thing. Like, everybody like lives their life on credit, and that's not a good way to be.
That's just always looming over you once you start building it up. Because I ran into that earlier on in life. And it's like, oh, cool, I have all these things, but then every time I look at my bank account, there's this huge daunting number that's just staring right back at me. I was like, I don't actually own any of this until I pay that off. So,
Yeah, well, and then like, all right, so I own my truck. I've owned it since 2014. It's 2007. Now it's getting to the point where like it's needing more and more and more and more work, and I don't have the savings to go drop another 15 grand on a new truck.
mm,
So either I got to really start saving my money for repairs so that I can keep up with all the repairs that need to be done, or I got to start putting money away and be able to put a good down payment and finance something newer.
yeah.
I just did that a month ago. With a 25-year-old truck. Started clicking. Found out it was a lifter.
Mm.
Yeah, there are times you can get another year out of them, but I wasn't taking that risk because you never know. And being the only vehicle between two of us, and my girlfriend really needs to get back and forth to work all the time, we needed to make sure we had a good, reliable vehicle.
Especially in the winter, you don't want to break down. And
Oh
God
God,
forbid,
no.
it would be. Oh, I'm just going to make a quick run to the store in this like white out conditions, and then it breaks
Yeah,
down halfway there. So
yeah, and that was another thing I wasn't risking.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like, what happens if my truck breaks down while I'm towing my freaking house from
Yeah,
point A to point B?
well, luckily you can just get right back into your house. It's fine.
yeah.
On the side of the highway. I just
Yeah.
be like, you know what? I'm
It's fine.
going to
I'm
sleep
just
here
gonna
for
stay
a few
right
days.
here.
This is where we live now.
Mhm.
Oh man, the wife's in the chat right now. She's talking about
Oh
small
boy.
goals and the big. Yeah, okay, I get it. I'll work on my small goals.
Oh, is that Sid? MT
Yeah,
Chevy?
yeah,
Well, hi, Sid.
yeah. She's always lurking, making sure I get my small task done, or at least suggesting my small task done.
All right. Well, she's going to catch up on episodes then, because the last three have been freaking bangers on this topic.
Trying to reread some stuff. Honestly, I think what some of the best goal setting stuff, like teaching that I received, was actually in the Army. I only got it once, super early on, but that was something they went over. Was so they called it the SMART method, which was where'd it go? Specific, measurable, realistic, time bound. Um, oh, sorry, and time bound, and it keeps it so it's not you're not just creating super general goals that you want to accomplish that aren't. It gets back to the how you can get the gratification from it, because it's like, oh, I want to lose some weight. Then, okay, I can lose a pound in a year and that's fine. But if I'm actually setting, oh, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds in a week. Okay, well, that's not realistic. And then when that doesn't happen, you're going to give up, and then you're back out where you started, where you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah. Well, and that ties in perfectly with all of the things that we've been talking about.
Mhm.
I thought it was funny. Bricker said, of course, it's an acronym, but like, yeah, you're in the Army, man. The Army has an acronym for everything. Bricker was in the Air Force, so maybe the Air Force doesn't do it that way.
Now Trevor's right. We do have that the SMART goal. It's like a spreadsheet too. It's kind of nice. It's a it gives you, it does really break it down, fucking Barney style for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
usually,
the Army does the right thing.
yeah. The problem is that the human error factor is difficult because we forget that we even have those fucking worksheets to actually use. Oh yeah, I remember those.
I mean, yeah, when I'm saying I was taught that, this was like 10 years ago now. So,
But so, all right. So, Trevor and Cody, right? Like the military is still aligning your priorities for you at this point.
yeah.
Now, the rest of us, we got to figure out our priorities on our own.
Yeah.
That presents a whole nother element of challenge.
I think an on your own type of situation is you can only fall back on what you know. So unless you have some sort of outside entity or some sort of like life coach esque type person to fall back on ideas and stuff. But if not, you're on your own. So whatever tools you have in your kit bag, that's it. I think probably the worst part is that maybe some of y'all just forget that you do have those, or we all have those, and we're trying to use a wrench as a hammer, and we got a perfectly good hammer right there,
Mm-hmm.
So everything's a hammer, but
Yes.
but yeah, I don't know. You're right, Grouch. The military definitely did teach us all these skills. It's just that how willing are we to apply some of those skills to the stuff we got going on day in day out.
Yep. And so before we touch on like ADHD and TBI and stuff, so when this show topic came to me, it just happened to be that I got an email from Mark Manson, who writes a bunch of great self-help books. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is one of his books. But anyway, so the email that he sent was about, how how he felt that he was being busy all the time and he wasn't being productive. And so I was like, huh, all right. And so he's talking about how, he was writing his book. It took him 18 months to write his book. And he was writing for 8 to 10 hours a day. And it took him a long time to realize that, like, while, yes, he was writing for 8 to 10 hours a day, like, really after 3 or 4 hours, he wasn't actually being productive anymore.
Yep.
And so that got me thinking, right? And then right after I get that email, I get a notification, Chase Hughes. And I've showed his clips on a couple other shows, but he put out a video and he titled it "What It Feels to See Into People," and I feel like that's kind of a misleading title, because really what he's talking about in the video is how we use guilt to drive us to keep busy. Right. And guilt and shame are the worst fucking emotions there are. Right. But it I don't know. It was an interesting perspective. And so if you guys will humor me, we'll watch the video. It's just under 10 minutes. We'll watch the video and then we can kind of just talk about it a little bit. All right. Let's. And then you'll have to also help me with the audio. Make sure the audio is good here. So all right. So this is Chase Hughes, and this is his video. Let me know in the first couple seconds here how the audio is.
None.
None. None yet.
No audio. Okay.
No.
Still nothing.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling a Dave and he mutes himself.
Now I realized what I did, and I hadn't rerouted the audio. All right. Let's try this again.
Third time.
Every persuasion tactic that you will ever use is working because you are speaking the language of grief. And if you want to know what runs a human being, you don't look at their beliefs that people tell you to look at all the time. You look at their bruises. I want to give you this like decoder so you can really look at the human condition on your own and everybody else's. So you in your own life, you've been trying to fix your reactions, your triggers, but you have been working on symptoms instead of causes. And the absolute gut punch truth to this is every bad behavior is grief in disguise. So first I want to talk to you about this childhood triangle. You didn't just really grow up, and we're going to get into that, but you downloaded a program, and we call this the childhood development triangle if you've read the behavior ops manual, and it's 3 primal rules that you got downloaded into your body. And the first one is friends. Around the age of 8, you learned, will I be liked? And that code of will I be liked and what do I need to do to be liked started running in your head. And the second one was safety. Am I going to be okay? And the third script is reward. Am I going to be chosen by someone? So that's the childhood triangle. That's the entire nervous system architecture from age 0 to 10. That's our architecture. Now, here's how it shows up for you today. And this is what I thought was probably going to punch you in the gut, if you're honest. I mean, some people aren't, and they're not ready for it, and that's okay. But here's how it shows up. You're 34, you're at work, your boss doesn't reply to an idea that you have, and your brain lights up like it is second grade and you didn't get picked for kickball. That's the reward side of the triangle. Or maybe your partner criticizes you or how you did something and you feel your whole body kind of like tense up or brace for something. And you're not pissed off, you're 7 and you're waiting to get grounded. And that's safety side of the triangle. Or you walk into a big party, you scan around the entire room and instantly feel unworthy. You're overanalyzing your posture, your body, your face, your tone, your laughs. And that's the friend side of the triangle that started when you were like 8. Or you think you're being emotional or insecure or too sensitive. You're not doing any of those things. You're running old software. It's the triangle that's kind of taken charge. But let me be blunt about this with actually understanding it. Overeating, somebody who like eats too much cheesecake, that's not about being hungry. That's about something else. If I'm overworking, working my ass off for no reason, that's not about ambition. And being a people pleaser, which every one of us either is one or knows one, that's not about being kind. All of that, every single bit of that is a younger version of you trying not to be left behind again. It's trying to prove their worth. And those 3 triangle needs. I need to be liked. I need to feel safe. I want to be chosen. So if somebody's acting irrational in your life, or even dramatic or emotionally unavailable, that's not a dysfunction like a lot of people would say. Psychologists would tell you there's dysfunction going on. That's an encryption of code. It's a script that they've learned in their life. But let's talk about this word that everybody here, all of us, we love to throw it around. It's a word called grown up. You hear this thing all the time. When I grow up, or the big classic one, you're a grown up now. You need to act like it. Let me just tell you something, in my estimation. That word is fake. It's a complete mirage. There is no such thing as a grown up. We use it like it is a destination. Like one day we hit a certain age, we get a job, maybe we've got kids, and boom, we're done growing. Game over. We've kind of like arrived at this little train station. That's bullshit. Age does not equal maturity. Responsibilities don't equal healing in any way. Having a mortgage doesn't mean you've made peace with an 8-year-old living inside of you who still flinches when somebody raises their voice nearby. And I guarantee you go on social media right now, you'll see a 47-year-old man have a full-blown temper tantrum meltdown because someone cut him off in traffic. And you'll see maybe a 33-year-old woman spiral out for 3 days because her friend didn't invite her out. That's not immature. It's very rational. They're just not done growing. And neither are you. We use grown up as an excuse to stop evolving and to stop looking at ourselves and looking in the mirror a little bit, to stop learning how our past is still running our present day life. We put on a suit or a nice dress, we drive to work, we lead a bunch of Zoom meetings, we post about self-care bullshit and boundaries, then we go home and avoid our own emotions like wild animals. And the systems around us love that stuff. The world is built for us to perform adulthood, to fake like I've got my shit together, so all the other people at the country club think I do. Here's the one thing I think that nobody will ever tell you. The body's going to keep growing whether you like it or not, but the soul your soul, whatever you think it is, whatever you want to define that as, it stops growing the minute that you pretend that you have arrived somewhere. I think there's only two types of people, those who are still growing and those who are pretending not to need it. So you weren't born to graduate from any of this, just to evolve. And that's what all of this stuff is about. I want you to just write this one phrase down if you're taking notes. This one phrase: behavior is an encrypted grief file. So your job is to become the decryption key or the decoder ring for that. So here's the exact process how I spot the triangle in other people and in myself. Step one, listen for disproportion. So when the reaction is way bigger than the situation, that is grief. If a reaction is bigger than the situation, if somebody snaps because they've been left out of a group chat, that's the friends triangle. If they panic when plans change at the last minute, that's safety. If they freak out or over-explain or fish for a bunch of praise after they do something that's helpful, that's reward. So that's step one. Step two, ask yourself, what are they afraid to lose? Or what am I afraid to lose? So that is the triangle's engine. Everything that you might call a problem behavior, everything is just a defense mechanism keeping some kind of loss at bay. So step two, what are they afraid of losing? And step three, speak to the loss instead of the logic. And I have met countless therapists who speak to the logical side of that and tell you how illogical some of these fears are, some of these beliefs are. Speak to the loss instead of the logic. These people don't need some kind of fix. They need a translator. I want that to really sink in. They're not needing a fix, they're needing a translator. So if you want to stop your own little triangle, this is what I do with my one-on-one clients. When you notice any kind of little reaction in yourself, you say this out loud. Who is it inside of me that's trying to be liked or safe or rewarded right now? And just wait. You're gonna feel it. You will feel it. It's a younger version of you, and they're gonna answer. And let them be scared. Let them be scared. Don't try to fix anything. Just listen. And they're gonna say, I'm scared. They're gonna say all this other shit. But I want you to say, I see you, but I've got you now. That's it. So if somebody's feeling left out or something like that, you just have to say, hey, you don't need to prove anything. You've already been picked. Everything's good. So what if I told you this whole time, you maybe signed up for this stuff, or maybe half of you are here because there's some kind of desire for improvement, some kind of desire for, I need to fix myself. I think 99% of the self-help stuff out there is, I think it's just BS. I think it's not real. And I don't think it produces something tangible. And most therapies shouldn't take more than an effing decade to work. If it worked, it wouldn't take more than a decade, ever. It shouldn't take more than a week. So what if I told you this whole time, all the stuff you've been trying to improve, this like self-improvement stuff, none of that stuff you're trying to fix is broken. It's just grieving. And what if all these difficult people in your life, and I say difficult with a big quote around difficult, they're not being irrational. They're just never given words to explain what the hell is missing. There's a freaking hole, like a cancer is removed from their body, or like an organ is missing, and they don't have any words for it, and they don't know what's going on until somebody like witnesses them. So it's a key to a person's soul and to yours. But I don't want you to ever use this to fix anybody. Use it to just understand. Same with yourself. Don't try to fix anything. The one way that I described it 2 weeks ago, and I'll leave you with this one comment. Everyone, including you, has ghosts that are waiting and begging to go to sleep, to go back to sleep.
All right. What do you guys think of that?
So I did miss a bit of the beginning. I didn't realize how much snow we got, so I had to move my car. But I think one thing, and I was going to bring it up earlier, but it was pertinent here as well, is I think a lot of people rely on external factors in multiple things in their life, whether it's like motivation or how rewarded they feel, or even why they, or I guess it falls into motivation, but like, okay, I'm going to do this because these people are going to like it. I'm going to complete this goal because someone else is going to think, oh, however you want to word it. But then when that's gone, when there's no one else there and you're just having to do things for you, do you have the motivation to keep doing that, or are you solely reliant on external factors to get things done?
Well, and so I mean that's where that little triangle of needs there that we develop as little kids. Like I don't think I'd ever really heard that or understood that. But I mean it makes so much sense. Like from a young age when we're trying to learn how to interact with one another. Like you want to have friends and you want to feel liked and you want to feel safe. Like if you don't have one of those three things, then you feel like a social outcast. And I mean, I don't, at least for me, when I was growing up, like I definitely felt like I was that outcast. Like I didn't fit in. I didn't have a lot of friends. I wasn't well liked. Um, home life was relatively safe and stable. But outside of my home life, like everything was a mess.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, I think some people have the exact opposite where they've had someone in some way all of their life, which is great. Everyone should have that. But then there are times where you don't have that. And I think some people aren't comfortable being that alone to an extent. So I think it's a good thing to have sometimes. That way it's not catching you off guard when stuff like that does happen. And I think that's what happens a lot of the time. People will, with the military, people get out and then they struggle because they're on their own. But a lot of those people went straight from high school, right out of their parents' house, straight into the military. So they've had either someone to rely on or someone to tell them what to do their whole life. And now they're 30 or 25 in going into their 30s, and now they're alone.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like at least for me, like when I got out of the military, like I haven't had any friends that have stayed consistent through that time. I mean, it's been what 22 years almost. Like not one of the people that I served with do I still talk to. I do have a couple friends that like we've been friends for close to 20 years, but even at that, like I don't talk to them on a fairly regular basis. I don't feel like I need their approval or like they don't fit into the triangle, and
Mm-hmm.
and I think that might be me just putting up those walls and being like, no, I'm gonna stay in my little fucking safety zone by myself.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that guy was talking about self reliance mostly, right? Like what am I afraid to lose? Like, and then speaking to the loss instead of the logic, and he's talking about. I think what he was saying was like kind of like tricking tricking the internal monologue of like a younger version of yourself, and like to try to fulfill some past wrongdoings that you did to yourself. So he's like talking about making your conscious now the mentor of the younger version. Like, hey, we internalize uh, our own wrongdoings, right, or how we failed ourselves when we were younger, and he's talking about using yourself now to kind of right those wrongs or to carry a mentorship relationship of a younger self to now. And that's kind of weird to think about, but ultimately it's self-reliance and a fact of like, don't worry, young Cody, I got you. Like I'm not going to fail you this time because I'm smarter and more mature, and I I won't feel that we could make this mistake again.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think I think the more grief and the more I'll say even shame that we put on ourselves, um, thinking that our friends or other people, if they knew about the things that we did, or if they knew about the experience that we lived through, that they would judge us negatively, and so then we wouldn't be wanted in that group anymore, right? And so we rationalize it in a different way, and we make choices because of that. No.
No, I think I agree with that as well. Or it's not even that they'll shame you; is that they just won't. Whether it's even shame or if it's do you think they just won't understand, like a you would have had to have been there type of deal.
Man,
Yeah,
there's
I
some
mean,
shit going on right now.
And we're deep in it. We're deep.
I,
We're, talk-
I
we're
know
talking
there's
heavy shit, Dave.
there's definitely things that, like, I don't tell people, and it's my own, I guess, guilt and shame that I don't want to air the things that weigh heavy on me, and then risk the rejection from somebody else.
So Grouch, so that guy was talking about, I believe, is talking about like you being your mentor to carry you through that stuff that you're not comfortable telling anyone, right? And to just be okay with the idea that you can let yourself mentor and cope with some of those wrongdoings or those downward spiral type things that you had as a younger version of yourself, because you've experienced it now. Now you have something to rely on. It might just be your own internal monologue.
Welcome, Dave.
Hi, how's it going? Would have been on earlier, but had some the local club drama. I'm no longer the vice president, but nobody likes the current regime, so just dealing with that. But yeah,
Was this election time, and you're no longer vice president, or you just said "fuck you, I'm out"?
well, I no, it was election time, and I stepped back just because I don't know where I'm going to be for the next year. So obviously, hopefully, not still here for the next year. So can't really take on an obligation of being a vice president of a club that I'm not around. But yeah, came into some seriously deep shit. Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Weekend Warriors. Sometimes we get into some deep shit. Sometimes we go way off the rails and we talk about shit that doesn't even fucking matter.
So goals and homework. I may be picking up my trailer tomorrow. So that's
Hell yeah.
yeah. If not tomorrow, Monday, for sure. Monday. Hopefully, I may be able to squeeze into it tomorrow. But that's been
Probably
my
not Monday.
focus.
Monday's a
Uh,
holiday.
oh shit, that's right. Maybe
Yeah.
Tuesday. Okay, that's gonna
Don't want
suck.
you to get your hopes too high.
No, I'll push. I'll call up, dude, first thing in the morning and be like, all right, come on, do the QC on it. Let's go. We got to get the hitch on. We got to go. Because I really want kind of goal thing. My daughter's gender reveal is tomorrow at actually the same RV park that I'm going to be living at for the first month. And it would be really cool to roll up to the gender reveal with the new rig behind the truck. So,
Like, not to steal your thunder on the gender reveal, but look at
well, no, I mean, I would just, slowly sneak in and pull into the spot that the spots that are open are the ones that happen to be very close to the pavilion and just get out of the truck and level it out and then walk over to the gender reveal and just go, hi, guys, and just leave it at that.
You should show up with an RV full of orange balloons, not pink, not blue, not a boy or a girl. It's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
That's what. and to just use that as an excuse why they didn't have any pink or blue
Right.
balloons. All they had was orange.
So, all right, I'm late to the game and trying to jump in. Um, let's see. Goals wise, little goals right now. Everything is a small goal. You know, not very forward thinking. Step one is get the trailer. Step two, get moved into the trailer. Get the desk. Get everything moved into the trailer. Step three is settle in to the trailer and clean this place out so I could get rid of it. And then I haven't seen very far past that yet, except Hamcation, because it's going to Hamcation. And I'm going to Hamcation.
Well, Hamcation put some pretty stringent deadlines on your plan.
Yes, it did. Yeah, because I would like to be completely moved in and ready to go for Hamcation and just move the house to there and then get done at Hamcation and move the house back over here for a little while and then go to Vern's. Once this
Now,
is,
what, you get 3 weeks?
yeah. Yeah, so that's entire focus right now. Entire focus. I mean, I have till April 1 to have everything cleaned out of here, right? And hand it back over because that's when my lease is up. But yeah, having it completely livable with as much of my life in that box as possible before I leave for Hamcation. Beyond that, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, Dave, your goals kind of sound I'm kind of very simple, for lack of a better word. But yours sound like I have to finish this before I can start that. I have to finish this before I can start that. Like,
Yeah, and that's
and
where
you're
I
very
was.
like parallel on the idea of what you need to accomplish, right? Like you can't put another goal ahead of another one. Like
Right.
you're just one regimented way to do it. It's just not a bad thing. It sounds a little bit more or a little less chaotic than other people's,
Which is where I
goals
was
of
kind of
reaching.
going to segue into is small attainable goals, right? Don't look at the big picture. Don't look at, holy crap, I've got 3 weeks till Hamcation. I am not ready. And a lot of us have that, well, fuck it, never mind, right? Kind of mentality. But instead, set focus on that one attainable goal, right? I know I need to do this. This has to happen, right? And focus. And then knowing steps 2 and 3, but not worrying about steps 2 and 3 until you get past step 1. And say you want to buy a new truck, right? Because I did catch part of the conversation about vehicles. I didn't hear what it was, but you want a new truck. Don't say, well, shit, I need 15 grand to get a new truck. Say, okay, this month I can put aside $500, right? Or $200 or $50, whatever life throws at you. Set that goal, meet it, right? You'll feel better about yourself because, hey, it's there, right? One of the things that has really changed my focus is and I don't remember if he's a Marine or Army, but there was a general that was doing a commencement speech for one of the colleges, right? And he talked about goals and dreams and how life is hard. He goes, first thing you do every morning, get up, make your bed, right? You have accomplished something first thing in the morning, right? And you'll have that a sense of accomplishment that follows you through the rest of the day. And don't get me wrong, he was much more profound with the way he described it, but it made sense. And I get up in the morning and I make my bed, and then I go make breakfast, and I do the dishes after the breakfast. And you get the sense of accomplishment. By the time I'm sitting down to do work, I kind of feel good about myself, right? Because I've had a shower, my bed's made, my breakfast is done, my dishes are done, and now I can focus on something else.
So you're talking about Admiral William McRaven and his book,
right.
Make Your Bed.
That's, yeah.
Yep. I've read his book. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's a good book. So
So
yeah, little things that can change your life and maybe the world.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Bricker says that he saw it too.
yeah, fucking weather right now. My heater and doesn't know what to do because it's not. The rooms are all conditioned differently, and this is just a first world problem. But rooms are all conditioned differently, and this room, because I have a 3D printer and computer and lights, is always warm, right? And the thermostat is right around that door. So this part of the house is warm. And then I go that way to the living room and it's cold, which is relative because it's 74 degrees in my house right now. But
Oh man, 74. That's tough.
yeah,
I got the thermostat set to 74, and it keeps cycling. The heat is on and the heat's off, and the heat's on and the heat's off. But
I've
yeah,
got
no, and I think making your bed is a good place to start, right? Like, I mean, it's just a simple way to like start your day with an easy task that's easily achievable. And then when it's done, you look at your bed and you go, fuck yeah.
yeah. And at the end of the day, those little tasks added up to whatever. I mean, a decently clean house and a bed made when you go to bed, the bed was made so you get to slip into some nice, freshly made bed and in between the sheets, and then start your next day.
Yeah.
You know what though? I thought about McCraven a few days ago, and I made my bed really nice, right? Fucking nice hospital corners and everything. And then I went to work, and then when I came home, I'm like pulling on my sheets to get inside my bed, and I made it so fucking good I couldn't fucking get in there. so right.
Yeah. I'm not
Sometimes the
saying,
juice is worth it.
yeah, don't bounce a
It's just
corner off your
you
bed
know
in
it
the
was
morning.
don't make it too good because you'll
Then you'll be fighting the bed
fight
when you
that
go to bed.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There it is.
See, I mean,
like
that was the great thing about being in the barracks was the bottom of the beds all had the springs, so you could pull the sheets real tight and like hook them into the springs.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, bounce a quarter on that shit. Absolutely.
That's it. My comforter's too fluffy for that shit.
So, all right, let's transition into ADHD and TBI, right? So, because obviously we're not talking about people need to try harder, okay? Because that's not the goal, right? The goal is to understand how your brain works so that you become more productive. And so I want to make sure that I throw it out there, right? That you know, oftentimes with my ADHD brain, I will think that I'm being lazy. I'm doing things, but it's not the things that I know that I should be doing or that in my mind should be the priority, right? And so at the end of the day, I say, well, I was lazy today because I didn't get that thing done. But really what I'm doing is I'm punishing myself and I'm being self-deprecating for no reason because I didn't set myself up to stay on task for one. And then when I got off task, like I'm just beating myself up mentally over it. So yeah, I think you guys could probably chime in here, but you know, we punish ourselves because we don't understand that our brain is not functioning at the level that we want it to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Well, as for like ADHD, right? ADHD folks, they um, there's a little man in your brain that's looking for perfection, right? There's a perfectionist in there, and I believe that if that perfectionist doesn't receive the right amount of dopamine, right, it's very difficult for you to fucking to transfer to a new task. You get like task paralysis, and that's the toughest thing
Yeah.
I think to overcome. Being an ADHD, ADHD, you know what I'm trying to say, but
Squirrel.
it's like, if the if the dopamine hit doesn't get you just right in the moment, right? It's so fucking hard to finish out that goal, right, and then fucking move on to another one. And that really is that's the task paralysis part. So then we end up fucking just being like, uh, not accomplishing anything, getting distracted by a new thing because that's fucking ready to go. That's the next thing in your imagination to fucking try and get another hit of that, and it's really really frustrating. But uh, completing tasks do feel good, but if the little perfectionist in your brain doesn't feel satisfied, then it's just you hit a fucking roadblock to transition to the next goal, and
Yeah,
that's hard.
it's very hard.
So if we can, with ADHD, if we can somehow condition ourselves to be okay with not fulfilling perfection, then I think we'd probably all live way better lives, way better lives.
And what's
But
funny is
um,
ham radio
having
will.
having a military background, it's having a military background is really really difficult to settle for mediocrity, right? To settle for just good enough. It's fucking hard to do that,
Yes, it is.
So you're stuck on a pendulum of it's okay, it's not okay, and I don't know. Maybe you need to slow your pendulum down to just sitting in the middle and going, all right, I can focus here and be okay when if something's not perfect.
So how do you do that though?
Um, I don't know. Um, I think I think you have to condition yourself to reach the right level of dopamine before your task completion. I think you can do that with a lot of hard work. Uh, um, I the kind of like you get some kind of like micro doses of fulfillment in the task, and just have that throughout the entire thing, and then completion of it once it's done, since you've fulfilled out that amount of like good juices, good vibes throughout the whole thing, then at the end, because you've had enough dopamine, you're okay with letting it go,
But you'll still
right?
want more.
It's kind of like a kind of um
It's kind of what I'm worried
maybe I
about
don't know. I
with this move, right? Is I've got the excitement and the fun of it right now, right? I've got a big new toy. I get to move into this big new toy. I get to live in this big new toy, right? But I've started to think about, okay, well, what happens when I'm in there, right? Because right now I'm focused, right? I've got that drive, and then what? Because now where here I can fall back and just go into whatever. Now I'm going to be somewhere else in a small bubble that I'm like, oh shit, now what? And that's kind of I'm afraid that I'm going to get into it and it's going to be another toy and I'll want to move on. Because that's like my coping mechanism right now is toys, right? I will find a project of something neat that I found on the internet and I will build it, right? And I will make it work and then I'll set it down and then I'll find another neat toy to build and make, and then I'll set it down and then I'll find another neat toy to make and build and then set it down. And I'm looking around going, holy shit, my house is full of, wow, that's neat. I really want to get into that. Get to a happy spot where it's built, it's working, it looks cool, and then stop.
It's like you were talking exactly to me because I have that exact thing, and every
We all
time
do
it's
it.
expensive.
Dave, you said okay. So you said you like, look, you're moving out of the house. You got the camper, right? You doing that, but then you have some sort of fear of the unknown. Like once I've accomplished this task, then you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
what the fuck do I do with this? Um, you have a goal, you have a drive in mind right now, right? But you do have a worry on the tail end, that after the period, you got this like, what the fuck? So there's two different types of people, in my opinion, right? One, the first one is those guys are going to get all the way to that point and then be like, oh shit, I don't know what to do now. But you're putting that idea into your head right now, which is the second type of person, and I can associate with is that if I don't know what's after the period, I don't know the next sentence, then I catastrophize a lot of things and will procrastinate all the way through it because there is no certainty at the end. I'll use that as the tiny minuscule excuse not to fucking do it at all.
And through this process, you're absolutely right. Because of thinking of beyond, I for the last 3.5 weeks ish have gotten into this. Well, I don't need to do any more yet because it's not. It's whatever. So preparation stuff I've done. I look around the house and I've gotten this mentality now that I'm as far as I can go. I can't do anything else until something else happens. And I'm like, "Fuck, no, I can do more." And so having to push myself and drive myself to do that. Yeah, but I'm afraid my life is going to end up one of these toys where I'm ready to move on to a different one.
No, I guess one question I have: do you have a lot of? Because I've done this in the past. I'll get into something, I'll complete it. Say like one of the things you just built, and it's complete, and then I use it for a bit, and then it kind of just gets set aside, and then it's clutter. Do you have a lot of that, or is it more? Are you using a lot of these things?
No, that's the problem. Is the new ones I use.
Mm-hmm.
The old ones are in a box.
Yeah.
And it's been an eye opener of how bad I am at this when I went to start decluttering and downsizing and looking at all the crap that I had acquired because it was a good idea at the time. And I catch myself still doing it. These are new. These are just built. Trying to get myself out of the habit of doing that, even though I just gave away probably $5,000 worth of cool shit to guys in the ham club because I don't have room for it. So yeah, the gear acquisition syndrome. Bricker nailed that one. Like
Yeah.
my cutlery that I have, I sorted through that box today of do I really need this Doug Marcaida knife that's this freaking long and is really cool?
Yes, oh, of course. It's Doug Marcaida.
Yeah. It's limited edition because I got it in my battle box, so it was made by Doug Marcaida specifically for battle box, and I'm like, do I really need this? And I'm like, do I? But yeah, a tote full of knives. And I'm like, I carry 2 with me all the time. And none of these are kitchen knives, so it's not like I can repurpose them. But
Yeah, that's one thing I've had to, or that I try to stay consistent with is sure this is cool, but do I have a purpose other than just to keep me busy doing it? Like for me, I know a lot of the dudes are into like the mesh-tastic radios and stuff like that, but for me, and I think it's cool,
you
but
should be.
I don't see, I don't have a purpose for it, or I at least don't have one now. And so it's like, oh, this would be cool to like I like designing things. I love doing it. It's like, oh, it'd be cool to like design um X whatever specific enclosure that I want for it, or whatever, a solar powered node or something like that. I don't like just taking some of the pre-done ones, but and I would get satisfaction of doing that, and then it's complete, and then it's like, well, did I need that? I got the gratification from
Yeah.
designing and building it, but then it's just sitting there and I don't get anything from it. Whereas, like, for instance, the other thing I've built, which was an ADSB receiver that broadcasts to my iPad, so I have ADSB in. That's something I enjoyed designing, building, and then I'm still able to use it going forward. So it's not just clutter. So that's one thing, because I've done that in the past, and I've gotten really good at taking a minute, take a couple days to really think about, do I need this? Do I want this? And then kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
It took a bit.
It sounds like you guys you, the dopamine hit, right, that you're getting is from doing the task, building out the whatever piece of equipment, learning its intricacies, that type of stuff. But then, and that was the goal, right? And then next thing you know, you're left with this residual piece of equipment or cool gadgetry.
Yeah.
And then, but then you're not getting fulfilled with the idea of that dopamine, because once you've learned it, you're done with it.
On to the next one.
So you're doing the right thing. You're just maybe you're not really feeling comfortable with having the clutter of the crap. You love the knowledge. It's gone with
I just realized that these are all distractions from reality, right? People have video games, people have whatever. Mine is I love to tinker and build. And I've gotten into some new toys and different types of electronics and playing with the ESP32 devices, but it's yeah, okay, I'm gonna build this, right? Which is an ESP32 Marauder, which is a hacking tool, basically. And I built it, and I was happy with it, and I played with it, and then I'm like, hey, I can build a bigger one and a better one, right? And then, oh, hey, this guy is fun to build too. I don't use any of them because I'm not a hacker. It's got the capabilities, and I know how to do the stuff now because I learned how to do it. But I'm like, But looking at them and looking at the stuff that I've acquired, I realized that it's distractions, which was part of what I think we were trying to talk about today, is doing stuff to avoid the rest of the stuff. And I catch myself doing that a lot by building little gadgets because it does give me that immediate dopamine hit, right? It's do the research, figure out what the parts are, acquire the parts, build a case, put it together. Woohoo, badass. I did it. It worked. All right, now what? What's next?
Yeah, see, Dave, you know what? We're all fucking hoarders, right? This is the problem with all of us. Is that whatever ADHD brain you got, we're all fucking hoarders. So some people are hoarders of stuff, right? And they just collect with the memories of having that thing in the corner, gives you that like kind of like nostalgic feeling. But maybe sometimes we're also hoarders in our own mind. Like you just like hoarding a new version of a new thing, and the collecting of a new little uh, nuancy knowledge of something is
Right.
what you like to collect, right? It's the residual effect of having some sort of physical thing at the end. You're like, what the fuck do I got all this stuff for? I'm hoarding I want to hoard the knowledge, not the crap that goes with it. So,
Yeah.
but some people like hoarding the crap and then just living off the nostalgia of having the crap. So, I don't know, man. We're all doomed with hoarding shit.
Well, so it's interesting, right? That like you occupy your time, you keep yourself busy, right, with these devices, but then you're stuck with the material devices, right, which then accumulates stuff. And as you know, like RV life is all about living simple and not having a lot of stuff. And so, one of my goals is to force myself to be more sociable. And so last Saturday night, I went and I hung out by the bonfire for a couple hours. And I happened to end up in this conversation with this gentleman, and he was talking about how when he cut away from his main life and started really analyzing his possessions. He was like, well, yeah, I mean, I have these things because they're sentimental, and I have these things because it was this project or that project. And, I liked building this and I liked doing that. But what value does that actually have to me in this moment? And if you ask yourself that question and you say, well, it really doesn't hold any value in this moment, then you need to be able to let it go.
Yeah. Very true. And that's what I'm working through now. And the fire got lit when I found out earlier this week that I could have the trailer as early as today. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing. Why I got on here so late was when the spark hits, I got to take advantage of it. And I started going through shit. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's go through some more boxes. Let's figure out that box over there with all the knives that I said I just got to have. Let's figure out if I got to have them. And dude, I have like a battle axe, right? That I bought because it was cool. And I looking at some of this stuff, I'm like, man. And so I narrowed it from about 20 knives to 4, right? And 2 of them are family knives that I can't get rid of. I mean, there's a knife that my great grandfather used, right? So I can't get rid of that. But the rest of them, it was like, oh, well, I'll probably use this knife after I use this knife, after I use that knife. You know what I mean? Got to have the backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. And yeah, so that my son is going to have a really cool knife collection next time I see him. Let him hoard that shit for a while.
Just pass that on, right?
That's
Just be like, look, I'm letting go and I'm freeing myself of these material possessions only to burden you with them.
But all right, y'all talk amongst yourselves because I gotta talking about the fucking Doug Marcaida thing. I gotta show you guys because you guys can help me decide if I should keep it.
No, we already said just keep it.
Yeah. We don't see the problem.
No, it's a Doug Marcaida knife. No, you keep that shit. If not, I'm good on QRZ.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know where to send it.
Exactly.
Don't make your son a hoarder, okay? Put that burden on.
Oh
us.
yeah. No, absolutely.
Oh, that is nice.
Gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
Don't do it, Dave. They're enablers.
But yeah, this is the only one that the other ones were easy. This one, I'm just like, dude, it's a Doug Marcaida knife. How many times in my life am I going to own a knife designed by Doug Marcaida with Doug Marcaida on it? Right. And it's
Right.
limited edition because it's a battle box knife. So you only got it with that battle box subscription, which makes it even cooler.
Yeah.
But are you ever going to use it?
No, never. Well, but sure as shit, if I do, holy shit.
Someone
Yeah.
breaks into his house. He knows where he's going.
What are
That's
you
not a
supposed to
knife.
do that with that?
That's a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Like Dave's over here like Paul Hogan, fucking down under. Fucking, I was in the bush.
It's an interesting thing how we hold on to things, you know. Because I mean, like I've got lots of things that I kept. Like my parents were getting rid of some things in their attic that didn't belong to them, and so they literally gave me like a trunk load full of shit. But one of those things was like I had this steering wheel that I had bought when N64 was fucking popular. All right. And like because I had spent I think like $200 on this steering wheel, which was a lot of money. You know, I packaged it up and I put it back in the box and you know like all the paperwork is there. Like, what the fuck am I keeping this for? Like, I don't even own an N64.
And that's the problem is that's this right here. This is the prime example of why. It's cool. It's amazing. It's awesome. But why?
I think you have to find a balance. Not everything in your life can be like it. I have to have a use for this. Some things just are cool to have. Now that can get out of hand really quick.
Yeah.
But that's why you got to have balance, and that's the hard part.
Yeah. Dude,
Yes.
I
and
We'll,
Frequency
don't know.
we'll
Frontiers
play the
are
money
out.
song for Frequency Frontiers.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
I got some Monopoly money for you,
Ooh.
Oh, I have
Dave. You know what?
somewhere.
Dave. You should keep that. You should keep that fucking machete of a knife, man. Because you know what? I'll tell you. Every time I would like open up a box and see that thing, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, that thing is cool." And I still have it. I'm never gonna use it, but I love it. You know.
That's the bounce back and forth is
I
trying
know.
to become more utilitarian and not collecting random stuff.
Yeah.
But then this is the prime example of, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But now,
See,
I
it's
mean,
the bonus cool
I
part.
guess
Yeah.
you could put it in a shadow box and you could mount it on the wall in the RV,
Yeah.
and then it's there, it's on display. You have it, but like it's
Put
not
a
really
sticker
taking
on
up
it
space.
in case of emergency break glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
You
hang
know
it
what?
right next
That's
to
a
the
little thing.
door. Yeah, it is. It's a little stupid thing, but
That's
it's
a little thing. It's you know, like
it's an
my
example of
wife is watching this. Like,
it's a little thing, but
and
it's an
I'll tell you
example
what.
of
If she had her way,
oh come on.
yeah,
You can't freeze after
you get what
that.
I'm saying, man. It's
No,
tangible. It's a
'cause you
little.
froze
not,
right
it's
after-
not-
No one knows
it's not
what you
something
know.
If she had her way,
And they
And then you
froze.
froze.
Oh, you got me now. Okay, but I'll tell
Mhm.
you what. If she had her way, we would have a fucking entire front yard full of square box Chevys, and none of them would fucking work, right? And man, it's cool, but it becomes cumbersome, and nobody needs that amount of bullshit flying around sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're running a junkyard and you're parting out those square bodies.
Yeah, you're gonna need those parts.
But that's,
Yes. Holy crap.
yeah, but that's the purpose. See, look, see, now we're all trying to justify to each other
Oh,
some
yeah,
sort of
We're
like
the
warning
enablers.
fucking
We've discussed.
mentality. Let's do it.
That's it. Bricker's right. I'll just use it as my mail opener.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
the most effective letter opener ever.
I can open any letter.
You might not have the contents left, but
Yeah.
sure.
Cut a finger off. Oh, where are you doing? Oh, just opening the mail.
Yep.
With what?
yeah. With what?
This.
No, I think
Yeah,
it is.
funny you should ask
not to become a huge professional hoarder. I think it is kind of important to have small tokens of nostalgia lying around, like especially very important ones, right? That maybe can associate with a better time,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
right?
that
Or,
there
or
is
something,
that.
something significant,
Yeah, there is
and
that.
that's
I mean,
that's the
that's the
tough
stuff
part.
I'm not getting rid of. It's the but it's cool stuff or the I may use it one day stuff.
But that's hard to get rid of some of that stuff too. Of the significance, right? Like
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I love every bit of refrigerator art that my kids do, but a refrigerator's only so big, and shit's got to go. You know.
Sorry,
So
we're not moving with it.
That's
like,
one of the things that is moving with me is I've got a tote of shit that my kids made me throughout the years because I used to have a shelf, right? And on that
yeah,
shelf, when they would my son took two sticks and a rock and made me a Indian axe, right? I still have that shit. Legos that they pieced together that I still don't exactly know what it is, but it was a Christmas present, so I still got it. That will travel with me everywhere because yeah, there's you need some of that in your life.
Ricker said it
Mhm.
important, dude. That's spot on. Find that tokens of association will help you, and if you go crazy, think of it like mental insurance. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing with
Hoard all your useless shit, man. Keep it going. It's not useless in here.
that's a thing. Things that won't take up space other than hard drive space is pictures. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people they go out do things and they're like, "Oh, I don't want a picture. I don't want that." I have basic training photos. Do I want to see them now? Absolutely not. Will I want to when I'm 50, 60 and retired and old? Sure. It'll be cool to look back on. But it's like you got to
No, you look at those, man. They just
no.
remind you how old you are. Do that
Yeah.
shit.
My,
Or you go back and you look at that picture like, who the fuck is that guy?
my body
Like I
already
had a
reminds
hard
me how
time
old I
finding
am.
myself in my boot camp photo. Um, I looked at it the other day because it's in the box of mementos, and I'm like, where am I?
Well, it's because
Where am I?
I had hair.
yeah, the guy in the mirror definitely not the dude standing in the
Yeah.
behind the drill starting the flag. No, no, no,
Mhm.
no.
Yep. I mean, I got two Marine Corps boot camp books because I was in two different platoons. So Trinity 41, I got recycled because I got hurt, and so I was with 3028 platoon 3028. Um, it was Lima Company, Third Battalion in Paris Island. And then when I got picked back up, they asked me, well, you could go back to Second Battalion, and you can continue right where you left off, or you could go backwards a couple weeks in training, and you could go back to Third Battalion. So I went back to Third Battalion. I went to platoon 3041. So I've got the 3028 book, and I've got the 3041 book. Like I don't know fucking half those guys I went to boot camp with. Like, why am I holding on to these fucking books?
I think those books like yearbooks, those mementos and stuff like that have photos, images with them. I don't think they're necessarily for ourselves. I think we keep them around just in case someone else, opens up the book and is like, "Hey, show me you," and who was that? And then you have
Mm-hmm.
that nostalgia, and you get to tell stories. It's just a memory, a physical memory to come back on. Because I mean, let's be honest, none of you are fucking just randomly on a Tuesday opening up your yearbook type thing,
No.
right? But
Don't own one.
someone, yeah, but someone that you know is like, holy shit, you got a yearbook? Like, let me
Yeah.
see let me try and find you, right? And that's what those are meant for, man. They're not meant for you to look back at that shit
Yep.
unless somebody asked you about your life and have that memento. But Dave's fucking Bowie knife, fucking crocodile Dundee knife, that's for you. That's specifically for you.
It's just fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat that though.
All right. Well, let's see here. Looking at my notes, I had all kinds of great questions to ask you guys, but like, I mean, the conversation's just been really going good. So I feel like we've already covered most of the questions, right? Like, who struggles more with finishing rather than starting? I think for all of us, right, starting a project is the easy part.
Yep.
Like, it's very easy to go, oh, this needs to get done. Let's throw everything into that for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The hard part's sticking on it through completion and then moving to the next. And not having the squirrel moment or the fuck, I really don't feel like dealing with that part of that one. So I'll move on to this one and take care of that and then come back to this.
Mm-hmm. Also, just taking some time to enjoy what you've done as well. Not just like, I finished it and on to the next. Enjoy the fruit of your labor.
That's me.
Take a moment to celebrate that win. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think I think that if we're gonna better ourselves, I think we should maximize our effort to find tasks and goals that are reoccurring. To find something that will always be built upon and kind of almost never be finished.
Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taxes, water, and death, like the inevitabilities, right? But like grand scheme of things, like lifelong learning, that type of stuff. But sometimes like maybe a better, smaller scale would be like an old square box Chevy, right? Hope she's still not watching, but a thing that kind of it feels that it's okay to have it not all the way complete, but there's always something to build upon.
Right? It evolves.
Yeah.
I think that those are the most tangible, respectable dopamine hits that you could probably get, right? Not the quick one and done ones, but the tasks that don't necessarily have a predefined goal, right? The ones that you can deviate from and come back to very easily. Those ADHD approved type of task. Those are the ones we should probably seek out that will get us through the longevity of life, man.
Yeah, that's one thing that is good for mental health as well is, dude, a project truck, right? Because it constantly evolves. There's always, You get an old truck, there's always going to be something to fix, and not like a grouch old truck where the bed's just rusted and falling apart, but like a cool old truck. Um, a cool old
A
truck.
square body.
I guess swear about it. Should have never got rid of mine. But yeah, it's because it will evolve. Because there'll always be something to work on. There'll always be you've got 350 horsepower and you want to go for four, right? So how do I do that? And then you get to four, and then next thing you know, it's tubbed and 1,000 horsepower and running down a track. But that cool old square body that you have sitting in your front yard can evolve to whatever you want it to be and change with your mood.
Yeah,
So
those are those. Imagination is the only thing that would be paralyzing to the project, and
Yep.
you probably don't have that if you have ADHD. You can fucking keep going. So seek out those projects, even if they're a bite on your wall. Man, it's still fun. It's still fun.
Well, I think one of the big themes of at least the last three shows, right, has been kind of pushing yourself to get out of your comfort zone. And so often, right, we will immerse ourselves in a bazillion different hobbies because it's something to focus on, and it keeps us busy, and it gives us something to learn, and it makes us feel like we're doing something that's productive, even though really it's not. It's just a way to avoid doing the things that we don't want to do. So I guess the point of where I was going with that is just, make sure that your hobbies aren't a tool of avoidance.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And also try to find some that don't make you broke.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Every
Right?
single time.
Dude, guns are expensive, ammo's expensive, radios are expensive, radio gear's expensive. Like,
Yeah.
skydiving is expensive.
Yeah.
Hockey
get
equipment's
yourself-
expensive.
Don't get yourself into
You know?
a hobby that it has a cheap point of entry, because then you end up with a bunch of them.
Dude, every no, hold on. You guys are just talking ham radio. Every fucking hobby will eventually just consume you in this stuff, man. I mean, look, let's talk about the cheapest hobby you could possibly come up with, right? Fucking hiking. Just going out and walking, right? You start out entry level, pretty fucking cheap. It takes a bottle of water, right? And the next thing you know, you're like, okay, I need a little bit of hiking gear, right?
it's
and the next thing you know, you're
Now
like, okay,
ultralight tents and ultralight backpacks and
yeah.
It's
Next
the
thing you know, I'm
$200
like,
tennis shoes. And
yeah.
I want to hike the next, the 10 highest peaks in the United States. The next thing you know, you're fucking full fledged, taking out loans to see if you can get to the top of Everest type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it's all the same effectively, right?
Oh yeah.
So, but I mean, if it wasn't for some hobbies, man, it consuming us and our time, and I don't know, we'd just be a bunch of boring fuckers. So.
Yeah, we would.
Look at Grouch, man. He just wants to follow the sky all the time. Next thing you know, he's
Talk about a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
yeah. I gotta get another shoot. I gotta get a better rig. And then he gets into wingsuits, and then next thing you know, he's paying a shitload of money to the fucking Kuwaiti government to jump off the Burj Khalifa and shit like that. Like,
Speaking of Grouch and goals, you have a shit ton of jumps to do before you leave. How are you racking those up?
So I'm down to 15 now.
Okay.
I got 15 left to use, and I mean, if the weather warms up, that'd be nice. But Yeah, so I'm gonna use up those 15 before I head to Texas because I'm headed to Texas early now.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna leave here March 1st. Um, but I think the last week or so of February, um, I may just pull out of the drop zone early and go visit the 75 ohm ham because he's got a drop zone right down the street from him. And so maybe spend a week over there and help him with some projects and kind of make sure that my truck and the trailer are good for the trip to Texas. Do some skydiving in Palatka and but yeah, I mean, dude, I spent 3 days this week just reassessing things, creating new goals and priorities and timelines for things. And a lot of it's hard stuff. It's things that like I didn't want to do, right? Like, well, I reached out to some law firms. Do I want to hire a lawyer? No, I don't. But I know that I need to start looking out for my own interests, and I haven't been doing that because I've been prioritizing pleasing others and keeping the peace and maintaining some semblance of comfort in the frayed awful freaking relationship that's falling apart. So it was definitely it was a hard thing, but I felt good after I did it. Like it was like, all right, well, I checked that box. Um, Starting to make plans for the summer now. I got an email from the owner of CSC, and he was like, "Hey, I just want to make sure that you're coming here for the season because there's only so many RV slots, and so if you want one, you got to let me know right now." And so I took care of that. And he was like, "Well, do you want to work here part time?" Yes, I do. And so, all right, well, let's figure that out. Do I want to be a W-2 employee? Well, no, because if I do W-2, then that potentially can negatively affect my benefits,
Right.
right? And I want to be cognizant of that. And so it's like, all right, well, now to be an independent contractor, I need an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, I've been for the last 6 months kicking this can down the road, going, well, I'm going to create an LLC based out of Montana for my YouTube shit, right? Because right now, like YouTube pays me directly, and it's not a lot, but it's something, and it's appreciated. But like I've just been taking that money and funneling it into my jump fund without any thought to, well, how's this going to affect me tax wise?
Mm-hmm.
How's this going to affect me income wise? Like, I mean, fortunately, I did the math and I made $1,600 last year on YouTube, uh, which is fantastic. I greatly appreciate all the support on the YouTube front, but I needed to get that done. So that's what I did today. Was I created an LLC. It's called Grouch Media LLC. And it's founded in Montana, but the address is in Texas. And then like my legal address is still New Hampshire because I got to talk to the attorney about that. Like, how is changing my address going to affect me in the upcoming proceedings that I have to go through?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Right?
some states get funky about that. You leave the state officially, and she has the keys to the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's got the keys to the castle currently because I'm living in my mobile, but
Well, no, I found out Tennessee's like that. Tennessee and Kentucky are like that. Was dating a girl and bought a bunch of neat stuff, was making really good money, and then said, "Hey, let's move back to Texas." And she's like, "Yeah, you go first." Okay. Moment I left the state, she was then able to take all the titles for the two samurais and the four wheelers and Everything else, and just automatically, because I left the state and was no longer a resident of the state, no longer with her, she was able to take possession of all of it legally.
Ouch.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Lesson learned.
Oof.
So, yeah, double check that stuff to make sure that literally she just doesn't get the keys without a fight.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I guess given the things that are going on in my life, it's really kind of where I'm driving the the topic of these shows, because I mean, essentially the whole reason why I started this is it's my group therapy on the interwebs, right? I missed getting together with other vets and just talking about the things that were going on in our lives, and so this kind of fills that void for me, and I appreciate you guys for coming on. I appreciate the guests in the chat. Um, like, it's not easy, and what do we do when we hit the wall and we go, well, I know I need to protect myself, and I know I need to protect my assets, but I have these emotions for this woman that I spent 15 years with, and I I don't want to just leave her high and dry, but do I fuck myself in the process?
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so, it's a struggle. But with friends and, people that understand and, can at least listen, right? Like, that's what's great about this. And so that's why I do this. That's why I appreciate you guys being here.
And that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick around. I'll catastrophize with you, brother. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
And on the note of being here, it is about time I get off. It's getting late, and
What you do in your personal time? I mean, you can leave. We just don't want to hear
yeah,
about that.
yeah. I don't want to get my wife mad at me, so else then I have to worry about all that. And if I can starve that off the most as I can, I don't have a divorce yet, and it's a miracle. So we'll see. But
He's got to pay out those Christmas gift free foot rub
Mhm.
coupons. That's what he's got to do. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But it was good chatting with y'all. It was a good time. But
Yeah, thanks for being here, Trevor. We're going to be wrapping shortly anyways, but I appreciate it, Bo.
yeah, of course. All right, y'all have a good night.
Take care.
You
All
too.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
And just like that, we're chief free.
Oh man, those warrant officers, man, that get you, bro. No, I'm playing. You didn't really want to.
Good to see Shannon popped in the chat there. Sorry, what was that, Cody?
He really didn't want to explain that he's got golf in the morning with all the rest
Right.
of the warrants. He's over there wiping out his coffee mug.
So, what else are you streaming on? Am I not? Because in the chat, I'm seeing different things at the bottom of the screen than I am in the chat. Am I on the wrong?
So I stream to two places. I stream to my YouTube channel and to Twitter.
Okay.
You're not missing much. Everything's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
just
mean,
it.
there's 3 people watching on Twitter, and so, I mean, thanks for being there. But, yeah,
Right now, you see Socks Girl, Chris, and Bricker, and I see Chris and Bricker, but I don't see the other on the YouTube chat.
They're there.
Anyways.
Yeah,
Go
that's
to
the chat.
make sure yours says the all chat, not the top chat in your YouTube.
Yes.
filter.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what it is.
Live chat. Yeah, not top chat.
Yeah, you want the all, not top.
Oh, hi. Okay. Cool. I was getting confused. I'm like, it's a YouTube logo. I'm on YouTube. It's a YouTube logo. Sorry.
I'm not seeing it yet. Typically, I would say, "Hey, peace out, guys. I've got to get up and go to hockey." Well, just as I'm preparing for hockey and then getting on here, I was like, checking emails. Coach is like, "Hey guys, just a reminder, there's no hockey tomorrow because SUNY Canton is holding some sort of youth tournament up there, so we don't have ice tomorrow." And I'm like, "Well, shit, I wanted to play some hockey, and we need all the ice time we can get a hold of because we got the Empire State games coming up here the first weekend of February,
Sweet.
the
Later,
first full
Sean.
weekend. So, not
Well, see, so
Yeah,
Dave, it was
3
great
weeks
that
from
you
now.
were able to be here because this is fulfilling a little bit of that void, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Grouch, you know what we didn't talk on was TBI, man, and I kind
Yeah.
of want to talk about that a little bit because it's really hard to. Well, I mean, the diagnosis part of it and all that stuff, but the effects of hitting your head just a little bit too many times or too hard once or whatever, right? Is there? There's entire libraries of psychiatry that have, can't really even figure out most of it. You know, they just kind of uh, because it's so every bit of the symptoms can be so far fetched to reach every bit of psychology it means, um, but it is really tough though dealing with sometimes when you get fucking hit in the head and then the first effect is you know having a little bit of memory loss and stuff like that, but the long term is like all of the emotional things that nobody ever really wants to everyone acknowledges, but they don't really want to talk about how those emotional effects affect the daily life type stuff, man. And it's really frustrating because I'm rambling, but what I want to get to is that dealing with someone, and you do have to deal with them, dealing with someone who has TBI, and you know, not all the computations are reaching an end goal and effect is watching someone try to fulfill what they were before they had an accident or before they got hit, you know. And that's the toughest part I think is dealing with folks is and even dealing with yourself is you have a wanting, a yearning to get back to before you got hit in the head, and uh, and no one's ever comfortable with accepting it,
yep.
you know. And
I think
that's
in a
the
lot of ways you end up with a bit of a grief response, right?
yep.
Because you yearn for the person that you used to be.
Yeah.
And so rather than accepting that you've got a diminished executive function and that you need to adapt your life to fit that, you kind of get lost in that grief of, well, I know this is who I used to be. I know, how do I get back there?
But and it but it sucks. It sucks to have to kind of bite the bullet and accept those hard truths that you probably won't ever get there. And that is the fucking toughest cookie to swallow. And you know, internalize as someone that has the TBI, but also to have people external to you, it's not as difficult for them to swallow. But what they have a problem with is that it's difficult for you to do that. That's the problem, right? Is that it's so hard to explain to people externally, like, hey, I fucking just want to be back to me, and I don't want to accept that being an inevitability, and people have a hard time with that. So the people that are there to help you to get you through it or to you know get you back back to some sort of normality, right? They're there when they want to, but then they have such a hard time accepting the fact that you don't want to accept it. That's the tricky part. That's the real tricky part. And I wish we had some sort of, our army fucking, or smart card to like write down little some 5 little step thing that we could do, but there isn't. I don't know. It's tough, man.
It is.
Well, and I mean, I would say it's not only tough on the individual, but it's also tough on everybody around them, right? Because like, I mean, dude, for years, I would get so defensive, unintentionally. But like, my wife would come home from work and she'd be like, "Oh, how was your day? What'd you do today?" And I'd instantly get defensive because, well, fuck you. Like, what did I do today? Like, I did things. I was busy. Like, what do you want from me? But I mean, it's an innocuous question, but we take it in a completely different manner.
Maybe I can kind of equate it to kind of dementia, right?
Essentially, yeah.
It's very difficult to deal with or to cope with someone that you love throughout your entire life, and then they get a little bit older, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the old major D kicks in, and you're like, wow, this fucking sucks. This blows, right? And this is not the person that I know, right? And I wish I could help, but ultimately, if you're trying to help someone with dementia, you sometimes internalize this idea that like it would be everyone's benefit if that person with dementia could just acknowledge that they have it. Being the helper, right? And because then that makes you cope better, and you think you project that idea that it would help them too. But the person with dementia is over here like, no, I don't have dementia, man.
Fuck you. There's nothing wrong with me. Something wrong with you.
I'm fine. I don't want to accept that bullshit, So, man, that's the real tough part, is try to trust the people helping you just want you to acknowledge that you have a problem. But it's hard to be a person to acknowledge your own fallacies because of that. That's rough, man.
Yeah.
Because every bit of your interaction with people around you has this little asterisk to it, like dementia or TBI or something else. And either you're unwilling to go to the bottom page and read what that little asterisk means, or everyone else is going to the bottom page and can't interpret what it means.
Yep. I'd throw post-traumatic stress in there too. Like, everybody expects a certain way of being, right? And sometimes like our brains are just fucking wired different.
Yeah, I think honestly though is the best medicine is accepting the idea that you should not feel obligated, as someone who suffered from these things, you should not feel obligated to walk on eggshells around yourself. And then everyone else trying to help you should not feel that they have to do the same. right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately what we're all seeking is like some normality to it. So it's kind of it's the acceptance of acknowledging it, but also it's accepting that, if you want to normalize some of it, right? You just to yearn to be treated as normal. So to have either TBI or dementia or PTSD or something like that, right, is like sometimes you as a sufferer or someone with the symptoms of it just want to fucking be treated normal. To have the people that want to help you, to have them come up to you and be like, "Hey, fucktard, you know, what are you fucking doing today?" This so that level of back to what you were before,
Right.
and not have them worry about walking on eggshells. That
Yeah,
and
because
I
that'll
probably
just make it worse. Definitely just
Yeah,
make
and
it
that's
worse.
probably why you honestly, Grouch, why you and us and we're all fucking here, because I'll call you out on your shit, man. Fucking fucktard. Like, what are you doing today? Like, oh, you
Yeah, I
just
can't
fucking
tell
off.
you the number of times in the last 15 years that my wife has told me that she feels like she has to walk around me on eggshells because the smallest little thing could be the thing that just makes me explode.
Yeah. Well, it does take whoever's helping you out, who's ever helping you through that. It does take a really strong character, someone who's even more alpha than you, right? To kind of sometimes put you in your place when you are being a fucking asshole, and that's probably what is difficult for trying to find the right helper medication, right? Because people are medication, of course, for your mental ability, right? Trying to find the right dose of person, the right dose, no, the right personality of person to help you. Sometimes, sometimes your wife needed to come home and be a wife. Sometimes your wife needed to come home and be a lover. Sometimes your wife maybe needed to come home and just be your drill sergeant. Sometimes but that's the difficult part about trying to get the right personality dosage of the person helping you.
Yeah, I think it certainly takes a special type of person to understand with compassion. Um, maybe not fully understand, but at least from a compassion point of view, um, why we are the way we are, and why sometimes, even though we're always trying to make ourselves better, it may not be at the pace that the other person expects it to be.
Or the way they expect it to be. Like, shit changes you, right? Life changes you, especially some of these other things change you. And being able to accept that it's going to be a change, and you may not be the exact same person that you were, right? You're still the same person, just different. Um, I know in my head that my thought was process was right, but coming out of my mouth was a little weird. But you know what I mean, right? It may not be the same speed or the same or the way that they think it should happen, but you're going through a life changing event that's going to change the way you work and your mentality works. And being able to adapt to that is something that somebody needs in that scenario. Because you may not be the same person mentally. I mean, shit, none of us are the same person mentally we were before we joined boot camp. Period. Right? That we changed in a whole different way and whole
Oh
different
yeah.
outlook in life just by serving. And then you throw like a TBI or something like that in the mix or PTSD. You have a different reality sometimes than who they think you're supposed to be in the reality that they're used to. Even just coming back from a deployment, your reality and your world has changed. They don't see it because they've had the same day to day, right? But the things and stuff that people go through, even on a pussy Air Force deployment, right? You still see a completely different outlook on life and the world by going to different areas, and it affects you and it changes the way you are and who you are. So,
Yeah, well, and even for the pussy Air Force guys, right? When you're in a situation where your life is in jeopardy 24/7, it changes the way that your brain functions.
yeah.
And when you come home, you're not going to be the same, right? I
No.
mean, you didn't have to do CQB and clear buildings and shoot people in the face to end up with that fucked up mindset. Like, just being in a situation where your life is in jeopardy 24/7 is enough to completely change the way your brain works.
Yeah. Yeah, and then throw something traumatic on top of that, and holy shit. So,
Well, but I mean, how often do you hear like a veteran diminishing their service because it's not on the same level as what somebody else did?
I do it all the time.
I I still do it
Yeah.
face to face with people, but it's not intentional. It's something internal
Oh,
that
yeah.
does it.
It's, I have people tell me on a daily basis that I should go for a percentage, right? Work the VA, work the system. And I'm like, dude, I didn't do shit to need a percentage. You know what I mean? I feel bad. I would feel bad trying to get a percentage because I had it easy. I know I had it easy. So, but yeah, I'll
But Dave,
diminish.
that's you internalizing a perspective, right?
Yeah.
So, like maybe you have way better tools to cope with some stuff that you did, or maybe the trauma of fucking showing up every morning and PTing and dealing with the dumb shit. Maybe you're just better at that, and probably I do this all the time. I internalize this idea of trying to seek out a 100% disability. Like, dude, I I still have all 10 fingers, 10 toes, and shit
Yeah.
like that. So like, what am I to fucking to kind of ask for this exception to this idea that I deserve this or I don't deserve that. But ultimately, though, it shouldn't be that way. You should um, look at it as that may be for someone else to figure out, maybe for someone else to determine, right?
Yeah. And I've
You fucking
thought about it more
go.
just because one of the things that was explained to me was the moment you sign on the dotted line, there's a bucket of money that is put aside for you,
Yep.
and you're stupid not to use it. Right. So that,
Essentially.
yeah.
Yeah, we all signed that dotted line.
So I'm thinking about it just because, dude, Grouch, if you wanted to change careers, you could go become an RV mechanic. And seriously, like, I forget the name of the school, but they're here in Texas, over in Alpine, I think. Big bearded batteries, right? That dude and the school that they
Yeah.
have. Yeah, they run the full gamut. The only thing that they won't cover is the Hazelwood Act. But you can, if you've got a percentage, you'll get paid to go to school. You'll get all the tools. You'll get to go through all the courses and be a certified master mechanic at the end of it, and be able to be an RV mechanic and make $160 an hour fixing other people's shit.
Damn.
living the life. Yeah.
Don't tell Grouch that, man. That sounds appetizing, bro.
No, dude.
Like,
It
I am
does.
actually seriously thinking about, because I think you only have to be 10% to take care of the privileges, and 10% is easy. I can go in there and just say my hearing sucks and get 10%. So
Dude, tinnitus is worth 10%.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm thinking about it because you always have to have a backup plan, right? You always have to have the fallback. And if I really do love the RV life, why not live it 100%? So yeah, dude, something to look into while you're here in Texas. Not that far away from where you'll be staying. And they got RV spots, so while you're going to school, you get a place to stay.
All right. I'm gonna tuck that away in my little toolbox
There you
for
go.
later.
I started talking to him because I wanted to go through it just so that being over prepared and stupidly prepared. Like, dude, I have a box of I've got Dicor and I've got all the different shit to be able to do my own repairs on a brand new RV that's going to have a 1 year full bumper to bumper warranty. But I don't want to be that guy that gets stuck and goes, dude, I can fix this now and not have to worry about it or wait for these fuckers and possibly make it worse. So I have a box of all this shit. Um,
see, you know what, Dave? Oh my God, I'm gonna call you out on it right here, right now, dude. This is you. This is your hoarding thing. You like collecting more knowledge, right?
yeah.
Like
Dude, I will
you're
totally tell you.
you're
That's what I collect is
you're
knowledge.
never content with just having this stuff, man. You just want to just amass your plethora of useless knowledge until you could use it.
Yes.
You're the same thing as the old guy who won't throw away that one fucking piece of 2x1 fucking oak in the
My ex has
garage
got a 3-car
because
garage full of shit that I may use one day.
yeah, that's what you do. You collected the fucking here. That's, that you know what? It's amicable, man. I adore the idea that you store this shit up in here and sometimes collect it over
Run
there.
correct.
But that's there's no fault, no harm, no foul in the idea of collecting a bunch of bullshit in here,
That's
man.
it. Knowledge is power. So
Yeah.
It's okay if you
Well,
never
let
use it.
me let me ask you boys. All right, is there anything else that you want to throw on the table before we put a bow on things?
no.
Can't say that I do.
Not really, man. I hope everyone has a good winter field day if you're doing ham radio, and I don't know, go out there and be like Dave, fucking just collect up some more plethora of useless knowledge.
Hey, I may use it one day and then it's not useless.
You buy it, put it in the back corner.
All right. Well, then Cody, what do you got coming up? Are we going to see you in 2 weeks, maybe?
In 2 weeks, ooh, let me see here. You might, so long as I don't have an exercise on the weekend.
It'll
If
be
you
the
don't,
30th of January.
yeah, you probably should there. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna fully immerse myself in this unit and try and get them back to reality with tactical radios, and it's gonna take all about 2 months, and then I got 10 months of fucking off,
Hell
figuring
yeah.
it out. So uh, we're gonna make it weird, but that's what I got going on, and I'm excited to see where my third Korean deployment will take me.
That's the Army intelligence, right? Just sending you to Korea for that 19 to 20 year.
One more time.
Just one more.
Well, I'm glad
Need to
you're
get-
here, Cody.
I need to get
Yeah.
paid back for all those 4-day weekends I lost, man. I would have been retired 2 years ago. We'll get you on the back end. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, mesh dealer Dave, what do you got coming up? Are we going to see you in 2 weeks?
Yes. Yeah. I hopefully will have a completely different backdrop. It'll be an RV. So that's kind of the goal. And just random, useless fucking knowledge. Did you know that January 20th is Penguin Awareness Day? I pulled up my calendar to figure out what 2 weeks from now is, and it popped up that January 20th is Penguin Awareness Day.
But it's not 2 weeks from today. It's only 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only
not
4
too-
days.
Well,
Well, I pulled up the calendar to see, and it just
Yeah.
popped up. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So next Tuesday, be aware of your penguin.
Yep. And closing with hey, come on, focus, bitch.
I
Your-
sharded.
Your charm is about as appealing to me as closing my scrotum in a Blu-ray disc case. Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah.
All right, the other Dave, you're not playing hockey tomorrow, but what do you got coming up? Are we going to see you in 2 weeks?
2 weeks, probably not. We're going to get together with some friends of ours, and we're going bowling. Next
right.
weekend, I'm going to be meeting up with Robert and other Fats guys that are up here that are doing field day, and all the soldiers he's got going on. And I'll probably be out there for a day or two, so you may hear me on the radio. Who knows? But I'm
Hell
meeting up
yeah.
with those guys and check shit out.
Well, Dave's
That's awesome.
working
Yeah,
on Dave's working on that outlet that his wife's
Yeah,
been
that
on
too.
about. Yeah.
Well, I'm no longer married, so that's a project of my own that I need to get fixed.
Oh, dude, you're always married to something.
Yeah,
Trust me.
okay, yeah, you're fair.
A marriage is just means stuck to something.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I promise that in the next 2 weeks, I will get 2 videos done. I will release them to channel members and Patreon members first. I will not be participating in Winter Field Day. I have the opportunity to participate in a rookie skydiving camp all day Sunday instead. So there's a possibility that I'll go at least do Parks in the Air on Saturday of Winter Field Day. Just why not, right? But yeah, in the traditional sense, I won't be doing my usual all Winter Field Day activation kind of deal. But I think it's a good trade off. I get to do some 4-way formations in the sky, and hopefully check all the boxes so that way I can just take my B exam test and then get my B license and keep pushing forward.
Hell yeah.
4-way formations.
Yeah, 4-way. So it'd be four skydivers all at the same time.
Okay. All right. So not menage a trois, it's menage a cinq, something like that.
Menage a quad.
Wow.
Yeah. If only it was a menage a quad. All right. Well, listen. I wanna leave you with a couple thoughts tonight. First of all, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Channel members, Patreon members. Subscribing is free. I really appreciate it. Each and every one of you. Thank you for watching this content, and I hope that you gain some value from it. This is helpful for me, and it's helpful for those that join me. But I hope that it's also helpful for you. So I also want to say, staying busy can feel safe. It can keep the noise down. It can make you feel like you're being useful. And for a lot of us, especially if you've got ADHD or TBI, it becomes a method for coping. But coping isn't the same as moving forward. So as we've discussed over the last couple episodes, you want to make sure that you're doing your goal planning and your goal prep in a proper way, because progress doesn't come from exhaustion; it comes from completion. And so, if you can choose one thing small enough to finish and actually finish it, that's gonna mean a lot more to you, and you're gonna get a bigger boost from that. So you don't have to fix your whole life. You don't need more motivation. You don't need to be harder on yourself. You just need fewer targets, a little bit cleaner structure, and permission to understand that your brain no longer functions as it used to. And so you just have to adapt to that. So if you take anything away from tonight, I just want to say motion feels good, completion changes things. So pick one thing, finish it, and let that be good enough. So having said that, 77. This has been the Weekend Warriors, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you later.
See ya.